Hello everyone, I believe you guys can hear me. Welcome to the phone camera. I'm using my very old phone for this. Hopefully it doesn't look too lopsided. Hopes and dreams are holding. There we go. Alright, now I gotta hope nobody texts me. Dude is still in his PJs.
You got a problem with that? You got a problem with that, buddy?
You got a problem with that?
Yes.
You got a problem with me being in my PJs? It's called living in a cold-ass basement where having fuzzy warm clothes is a requirement. Ever think of that, Grant? Ever think of that? And no, you don't get to see my feet, Alex. You don't get to see my feet. But yeah, I love when the camera dies. I love when my old phone decides to not charge. So I, plug it in, assuming like, oh, it won't die. Dies anyway. You're not paid to think this is true. This is very true. So, welcome everyone. It's time for a new computer build. Today, I'll be building my first DDR5 system. There will be a Ryzen 7 7700. I got that for real cheap. A B650M motherboard. This is a pretty solid motherboard. A GeForce RTX 4060. A 2TB SSD, NVMe. Comes with the free heatsink. 64GB of DDR5 RAM. And a 750-watt power supply. Don't worry, you can drop these boxes, they're cushioned. What is thinking? Yes, Vic doesn't know how to think either. I forgot about that. I want to make a joke, but I'm not going to. Alright, anyways, time to push this all to the side. Oh, and last but not least, our case is an N400 Cooler Master. This will basically be a sleeper build because the client in question wanted a not shitty looking case, but a case that didn't look super flashy. And this fits that bill amazingly. And not only can it do that, it has 2 optical drive bays and has 8 slots for hard drives. So you could effectively run a NAS inside this case and it would work fine. Yeah, it's a sleeper. Exactly. It's a sleeper case. And, for like $80 you can buy a sleeper case off of Newegg and it's a no-brainer. Glad I came back home to your stream. Don, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I really am. But I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. Also, Don, I thought you shipped something to me. You scared me for a second because I got something in the mail. Funnily enough, I got this graphics card from like somewhere close to you and I was like, wait, did Don send me something? But it wasn't you. It was just, fucking some company. But I got scared because I was like, did you send me something in the mail? I got very confused. But yeah, let me quickly throw all this over here. I'll actually need some of this real quickly. I'll need the memory, the processor, and that. Also, the processor comes with a heatsink, so I didn't have to buy a second one, which is awesome. You don't know my address? Buddy, my return postage was on the little sticker on the envelope I gave you. Twitch be chill, we're friends. Oh, yeah, no. I literally got, like, 15 years ago, the United States Olympics team gave me a bunch of return address labels that you, like, put on an envelope or something, with my name on it and my address on it, and I barely ever used them, but I love them because, you know, I'm a super patriot. I'm super patriotic about, you know, my country, and I get to, like, have that on any envelope I send out. When does Don pay attention? Never. Never. Never does he ever pay attention. And it's very amusing. For that bald edit. No, I thought Alex's edit was funnier, the Saitama. The Saitama edit. That was pretty funny. So anyways, let me push this case back, because I don't need to worry about it yet. And let me move all this stuff over to the side temporarily. And then let's crack this bad boy open. All parts are brand new, except for this, but I have a crystal disk info, you know, screenshot of all the info on this drive. It's relatively brand new. The only thing I used it for was for Microsoft Flight Sim and video editing, which is quite frankly next to nothing. This drive is basically brand new for me. I almost want to tell you how bad my day was, but it's so bad I almost feel like saving it for a SavageCast. Damn, that's rough. But yeah, here's another cool thing. TF2 Spy, like, you know how he has like a little metal case for cigarettes? They did that with this solid state drive. It comes in like a little fucking tray. Like a metal tray. This is the most extra, like, packaging for a solid state drive. Like, I feel like I paid like $2,000 for this thing, and I didn't. I paid like, you know, $150. But it is the most extra packaging I've ever seen for a solid state drive. All right. How's it going, Hunter? Alright, so we got our Micro ATX B650 board here. This is actually my first time building on an LGA socket in 5 years, I think. I think it's been 5 years or 4 years since I've built with an LGA socket motherboard. I'm used to pin grid array because that's what Ryzen used to have. It used to have PGA sockets. But now it has an LGA socket. And I'm only touching the plastic piece because if I touch the actual pins, I ruin the board. But there is a bunch of pins sticking out inside this socket here. And they're very dangerous. If you damage them, you have a dead board. On a pin grid array, if you damage the pins on a CPU, the CPU's dead. I don't have to deal with that problem. I have to deal with it on these boards now, which make the boards more expensive in the long term. Oh, shit! Dude, hold on. I'm going to set the board aside real quick. Because I'm going to appreciate all the extra features this box comes with. I'm going to appreciate this shit. You have cable organizers? Dude. You got... Oh, and you get MSI stickers, of course. But still, like, holy hell. You get, like, actual, like, you know, ribbons for your cable management. That's really sick. Why can't they do this more often? Like, I'm dead serious. Why can't they do this more often? Hey, look. The shitty continent of Europe. Let's make fun of it. Haha. I did throw the M2 screw. I don't want to throw the M2 screw. Quick installation guide. I don't need to bother with that. Actually, I probably will, because I keep forgetting the pin out of the power button. That's like the one thing I have trouble with. Oh, we get 2 of these. We get 2 of these M2 standoffs. Okay. And we get 2 SATA cables. I'll be putting those in because the client in question is going to be running a Blu-ray drive for a movie collection that he has. Which I'm pretty stoked for because I love Blu-ray drives and I'm so glad people actually, like, you know, still use that stuff. Want to hear a joke? What's the joke? Also, we got Wi-Fi antennae here. Just, you know, your basic stuff. But let me quickly close this up. Put this box in here. I'm actually going to quickly throw these... I'm going to throw these on top of here. That way I know where they are. And that way I can easily access them. I'm also going to grab this because I know I'm going to eventually need to get the pinout. I know it's a standardized pinout, it's just the one pinout I forget to memorize. I memorize all the useless pinouts and not this one. Alright,
hello there.
So, it even comes with an I/O shield, which makes me happy because I hate installing these things. Alright, first things first. 2 men walk into Europe. Wait, no they didn't. Bruh.
Chicken.
Get a case with just a single header cable. Honestly, I need to do that. It's just so much easier. Because I believe it's what, JFP1? JFP1's the culprit here. So, 2 terabyte SSD. Now, this does come with a free heatsink, but as you can tell, there's a heat spreader here, and I'm not going to bother, you know, removing that. Because the aesthetics of the board matter more than the aesthetics of the solid-state drive. In my opinion, at least. It looks better. Oh. What are you arguing about? What are you arguing about? What am I doing wrong? But yeah, this is a PCIe 4 drive, so the client will get about, you know, 5 gigabytes a second read speeds on sequential. On random writes, way less than that, but that's with any hard drive. They always advertise the fastest speed possible, which you'll almost never hit unless you're, like, you know, reading sequentially.
Move on.
Bruh. Here's a joke, your driving skills. Damn, that's a tough joke. Let me quickly get my screwdriver set out. We know! Move on! There we go. Bruh. Here's a joke, Don's brother. That's a funny joke. I like that one. That's a good laugh track, buddy. Alright, I believe I need, what, the 2.5 one? Yup. Alright, we're installing solid state drive first, just because I have it ready and in hand. Then I'll do the processor next. Oh, it comes with a little thermal pad too. Awesome. Make sure to peel that off so that it actually, you know, gets better performance. Oh, is this a toolless? It is! Oh my god, it's a toolless caddy. At least I think it is. Hold on. It is, I think. I just have to set it right. Oh my god, it is. Dude, MSI, good job. Now I don't actually have to put screws in this damn thing. It's just a little twist tab. You set it in, and then it has a little plastic hook that prevents it from being removed. That's lovely. Come on, guys. That needs to be standard. That needs to be standardized. Because it's so awesome. It makes it so much easier to install these things. And that way people don't have to buy screws. Or lose them. There we go. It holds down the M2 so that it doesn't move when putting down the screw. Yeah, no. Well, this screw ends up holding it in place anyway, but like it's so nice. It's such a good feeling. I'm glad they finally started doing that. Well, a lot of people hoard them, Fletch. A lot of people hoard the channel points, and now I've had basically every sound in Video Redemption is spammable. So theoretically, you guys could spam gas if you wanted to, and I couldn't be able to stop you. I mean, technically I could. Alright, chuck that over there. Next we're going to do memory. 64 gigabytes of it. This is 6,000 hertz, or a 6 gigahertz kit. And I believe the CAS latency is 30, so this is like about as good of a kit as you can get. You gonna step on the ass tonight?
Yes.
Step on the ass? What do you mean by that?
Yes.
Oh god, they're spamming it. Alright. Yeah, this is from Patriot. They're very competitively priced. That's why I tend to go for them. Memory is memory. You can cheap out on it all you want, and 99% of the time you're not going to get burned. Most of the time it's lifetime warranty, and because again it's memory, it's been the way it is to, work. Alright, slot 4, slot 2, these are only one clip. There we go, that's one. And now for the second. But yeah, most RAM is lifetime warranty because it all comes from like 3 different factories in the world. So you're just getting a re-stickered, version of the same RAM. A1 or B1? Okay, so it actually says it right there. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get a better view of it. It says it right there. And you can see it has like a little hook pointing to the 2 DIMMs that it should be installed in first. 2 and 4 in this case are the ones you install first. Alright, now for the excruciatingly painful part, installing the processor. This is a Ryzen 7 7700 non-X, which basically just means it's like $40 cheaper, but you can overclock it to have the exact same power. Like, I genuinely don't get why people why they go for the X variant when the non-X is cheaper and you can just overclock it. But I guess there's also the reason behind that, like some people don't want to overclock or learn how to. So there's that. I need to get my NTH1, which is over on the shelf over there. Quickly throw this back in the box, since I don't need that. I also need to put the tray back in too. Comes with the Ryzen 7 sticker. I'll ask the client if he wants to put that on the case or not. And then I have never touched an AM5 chip until today, and damn, they look really cool. Well, let me try to get the light reflecting off of it. Oh, I definitely could. It's just, you need a lot of overhead for that. Look at that. It's pretty. It's a 7700 actually. It's 8 cores. It's 8 cores, not 6. All right, let's see. Where's the triangle on this thing? The golden triangle. No damage on the pins. We're good. Golden triangles on the northwest. Okay. I haven't done an LGA installation in like 4.5 years, so that felt so awkward to me. I'm so used to PGA. But yeah, that looks good. I just need to put some thermal grease on that, and then we're set. I should probably put this, yeah, I'm gonna throw that in the processor box. Regardless, that plastic needs to come with the, it needs to go inside the computer when I ship it, for warranty reasons. But yep. Oh, and now I get to put on this thing. Is this a Wraith Prism or a Spire? Oh shit, it comes with a Wraith Prism. Dude, I love this cooler. This is like my favorite stock cooler ever made. I love mine. I had it on my original computer before I got an NHD 15, and I love this thing. This is such a fun little, it's a fun little cooler. I love it. Dude, Prism is amazing. I love the Prism. The fact it comes with the Prism is like goated. Like, you won't need to upgrade the stock cooler if you have a Prism. It is such a good cooler. And the mounting system is a little difficult, but man, I'm so glad this thing came with that. Do I really want to wipe the stock solution off? I don't think it's a good idea. Not like that. All right. This is the difficult part. I have to get it hooked on to these two plastic clips on each side of the board. I got it hooked on one part. I just need to get it hooked on the other part. The one downside to the Prism, hooking it on is a bitch. There we go. And now it's on. Alright. Yeah, I'm literally grabbing it by the cooler and shaking it. That means it's on. If you can shake it, it's on. You're not going to break anything. As long as you don't shake it too hard. Alright, let me wind this around there, around the capacitors, and plug it into there. Alright. That is the cooler, the RAM, the solid state drive, and the processor, all installed. That's crazy, Joel. That'd be pretty cool, Hunter. I would love to see you in person sometime. That'd be pretty lit. Alright, these are just the RGB cables. I'm not going to bother with those. The client can do that if he so wants to. I'm not going to bother with the RGB because it's very customizable. I just don't care to customize it. Alright, everything goes into the box. There's a man in a box. There's a man in a box. Buried in my shit. Alright, oh, and another cool thing. This has 6 SATA ports to it, which I actually do need to populate 1 or 2 of them. One for a disk drive, one for a potential hard drive. Also, those are big solder globs. Holy hell. That is large ground contacts. I've never seen such large ground contacts on a board before. That's kind of funny. Alright. But yeah, 6 SATA ports, a USB 3 header, a USB 3.2 header, and it also has 2 USB 2 headers right here, and an RGB header and a couple other random things. But it has a bunch of fan headers too, which is quite useful. Savage card's been decided. Awesome. Alright, now it's time to do the fun part. Let me not dox myself. That's one thing I forgot to do. Remove this label. There we go. Look at that. It looks like those old Dell computers. Hold on, you can't see it though. I'm stepping on something. I don't know what. Alright. But if you look at it... Oh, let me get it out. There we go. Put that there. There we go. Floor is going to need vacuuming after this. I hate styrofoam. It's coarse, gets everywhere. I hate sand. It's rough, coarse, and gets everywhere. Not like here. That'd be pretty cool, Alex, if you did like a Diddy Kong racing game. I enjoyed that on the DS when I was a kid. Believe it or not, I did play games that weren't Mario when I was a kid. But yeah, here's what it looks like. It looks like an old 2000s computer, and I love it. It looks like something you would have found in your middle school or in your elementary school. It looks like, you know, an old-ass junky computer. And I love it for that reason. Plus, it has 2 optical drives right here and a 3.5, which, let me see if this fits. It does. Oh, awesome. So I'm going to give him a free toy as well. And by toy, a multi-card reader. Because I have one spare, and it's also a 3.5-inch bay. This thing literally is made for 2000s, like, shit. And I love it. Diddy Jong? Who's Diddy Jong? Is that like the Asian version of P. Diddy? Like the Chinese P. Diddy is Diddy Jong? That sounds incredibly racist. But also funny. Alright. Alright. Oh my god. We got so much real estate here. Holy, dude. That's insane. I was not expecting so much real estate in this thing, but this thing is huge and it has so much breathing room too. Disengage that quickly. Comes with a bunch of zip ties. Is that a speaker? Is that a speaker? I don't think I've ever seen a speaker come with a case. It comes with a speaker. Holy shit. That is crazy. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a computer case come with a speaker. For those that don't know, those old-ass computers from like the 90s, whenever you turn them on, they beep. This is that. This is the thing that beeps. It doesn't play any sound other than like alerting you to the computer posting. But I have never like seen one come with a case before. Yeah, look, it even says speaker on it. You can't see that. Dude, I need to get better lighting. Yeah, BIOS noise. This is exactly that. They cut off Diddy's jong. No! He probably deserved it, though. Jesus, Don. That's fucked. Godot has a movie maker mode? That's crazy. That's actually kind of cool. I'm gonna check the motherboard. I want to see if the motherboard has a speaker built into it. I'm really curious if it does. Most of them do. SMB, sysfan, RGB. I don't think this one does. Audio. JFP2, that might be it. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's it. I have the installation guide for a reason. I'm gonna look it up. I want to see if it has like a thing for the speaker. Oh. Damn. It's just this stupid book. It doesn't have an actual instruction manual for it. Damn. They don't come with their manuals anymore in their motherboard boxes. That's kind of shitty. I always love reading those. Damn. That sucks. Alright. Well, you're going back there. And I guess it's time for some Google Foo. Pretty sure it's JFP2. On my server? Nice. It should just be called Speaker 1. Well, then it definitely doesn't have it on this board. That's unfortunate. Hold on, it might be JFP2. It is JFP2. It's just not JFP2 on this board. Damn. Alex watched Exploding TNT. Does anybody remember Purple Shep? I know my one cousin used to watch him a lot. Maybe that dates me, I don't know. I think that's literally where the speaker goes. Right here. JFP2. Because these middle two pins are unused. Those are for a buzzer, which is basically the same thing. I'll fiddle with it later. I'm just impressed by the fact it has one. But first thing first, we need to screw in some standoffs. I believe this has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 standoffs. They go into the MATX slot. Purple Shep and Uncle Fail. Fail Boot? I know who Fail Boat is, not Fail Boot. I'm assuming different. A different guy than who I'm thinking of. I know who Fail Boat is. Maybe that shows my age, I don't know. Great, I just took all of them out. Now I have to put all these screws back in. Lovely. Time for the knife. Alright. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just get the extra 2 out. I don't know if I'll need them, but it's better to have them than not. And then I have to dig for them again. There we go. Ah! There we go. Alright. So many screws. Sailboat the Legend, Failboat, goddammit. Yeah, dude, Failboat was a legend. I loved his content when I was younger. Alright. Oh, they're all lettered. Okay. Oh, I see. Holes index, motherboard. Micro ATX ABCDEFGHI, ATX ABCDEFJKL. So JKL I don't bother with. Everything else I do. I can just hand screw these in just to mark them and then tighten them harder once I need to. I got a bunch of light. It's just that my hands are fucking huge. So they end up blocking all the light. Also, are these... They are just interlocks. That's really cool, actually. I like that. So these just lock the stuff in place. But you can fit 2 optical drives on here, which is really nice. I like that. You can even fit a floppy in here. That's what the 3.5 is for. It's for a floppy disk. But I'm instead going to throw this in. Because I doubt he's going to use floppies, but he's much more likely to use a micro SD card. But yeah, theoretically, you could put a 5.25 inch floppy, a 3.5 floppy, and a Blu-ray drive in here, and it would work. Absolutely crazy, but it would work. Man said floppies. Is that not what they are? Oh, here's a gripe I have. These are removable slots. They're only removable. You can't put them back on. Damn. That's my one gripe I have with this case so far, is that. And only that. Come on, please get in there. Oh my god, please. Fine, I'm grabbing you. And I'm grabbing the big one. The big one! I hope that your Blu-ray drive works. There we go. Let me just tighten all these right away before I forget to. Wow, these are actually already pretty hand tight. I'm stripping the hell out of this. Oh well. Not that it will be used again. I highly doubt it will. Actually, I might skip the E standoff. Typically you can. Typically you can get away with skipping it. But I'll put it in there for now. And see where I am after that. But I think I'll need to skip it anyway, because I need to put A, B, and C in. And I don't know if I'll have enough standoffs. That was a really bad installation there. That was terrible. It was shoddy. I can do better than that. Ah! Fucking hell. Okay. Oh, brother. This guy stinks. This is one thing I hate about cases. When they don't have standoffs installed already, it angers me. Because that means I have to do them. And these things suck. Oh, I got it. I think. Let's try. I put a picture of Rick Astley in each one. Wait, what happened? I was evil as a freshman. Once my uncle gave me like a box full of old floppies, and his old Windows to clean off and to play with, since he was finally getting upgrades. So naturally I put a picture of Rick Astley on each one. And a compressed MP3 is never going to give you up. That's so dumb. Bruh, that's so dumb. Why? Why would you do that? Oh, so I'm impressed Goodwill even took those. And again, Goodwill takes in anything. Right. I think I have to put this E standoff as that. Yup. Alright, so I have to remove E and replace it with this. I forgot about that. There we go. Yank that one out. Put that one in. And that means I can skip H as well, because H doesn't have a standoff, like a proper standoff on the board. You usually choose between H and I. And in this case, H doesn't exist. Or it might be I. I'll just test. The board's not energized, so I can just test it right now. Alright. Alright, yep, H needs to go. And that way I can put one on C or G. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can skip B, although I can also just put in B as well. Alright, and now you. You're probably the hardest one. The top left corner is always the hardest, because you gotta reach deep in there. And when you thread the power cable for the processor, it's even harder, because you got like no room to work with. That is not in right. Alright, let's try now. Quickly reverse it and then set it back in. This one's gonna be a pain in the ass. So who's the lucky computer get a receiver gamer person? If he wants to reveal himself, he can. I don't know if he has yet or not, because I'm not able to look at chat like constantly. Oh my god, I keep popping it, which is not a good thing. That is not down all the way in. Let me rotate this and get better leverage. It's still really bad. Might be closer than you think. Oh, actually, this reminds me. Taylor, do you want Windows 10 or 11? 10 ends support in August. But, again, it's up to you. Do you want 10 or 11? Or I could install Linux too, but I don't know why you'd want that. Just doing very slow turns right now. I want to make sure this thing is installed correctly. There we go. Ah! Throw these cables up here quickly. Just so I have more leverage. For security, you're going to go with 11? Alright. Sounds good. Just figured I'd ask. I don't think I need that last standoff, so you can just go to the side temporarily. And now, for the fun part. Slotting this thing in. Alright, I see most of the standoffs. Just need to give it a nice little push. Alright, now to find the screws for this thing. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should be all I need. Let's get an extra one out just in case. Let's get 2. 2 just in case. There we go. All right. I like the tab management system that the Office version of the OS has. Oh, by the way, do you want Office or do you already have it? Asking for a friend. Because if you already have it, I won't bother activating it, but I can activate it for you for free. There we go, that's one. Use 11 Pro on your work laptop. I can install Enterprise for you for free. I run 10 Enterprise on all my systems, which is like, you know, super expensive, but I can get it for free. Mass grave, my beloved. Alright, let me need to give this thing a little bit more of a push. Whoa, hold on. I don't like how shaky these things are. That gives me anxiety. There we go. Enterprise sounds nice. What does it come with? It's literally just a fancy version. It's the same thing as Education under the hood. It's basically just, I think it's equivalent to Pro, like professional for workstations, but it's, you know, it's just a fancier name. There's like no difference, no real difference, real world. I think it comes with longer term support, though that could be bullshitting. Ooh, I just pricked myself on a pin. Lovely. That hurt. There we go. Alright. That one was a little bitch. Alright, so now I got 4 of these in. Well, BitLocker comes with Pro. Pro also doesn't have the account requirement. And I believe you can also remote desktop. Because I know Pro has remote desktop and Home doesn't. There's a couple features between Pro and Home that make it worth getting Pro. But again, it's free. You don't need to pay for it. Anyone that tells you otherwise is either stupid or is a corporation. But you as an individual, you can get Enterprise for free. Trust me, Microsoft would crack down on it if they wanted to, but they haven't, and they've allowed it for years. So it just goes to show that they're okay with it. Okay, so now where's that? Oh God, that's gonna be like, this is gonna be open heart surgery. This little bastard. All right. I think I got that. Because you got that. Nope, I didn't. I was rubbing against something and I don't know what. Let me get my other phone out. Turn on its flashlight. Get some better leverage here. I love open hearts. I'm gonna need to push it a little bit. I'm gonna need a salt and pepper this bitch. Oh shit. You know what I just realized? I did it dumb. I'm gonna have to take this thing out again. There's a cable here that I didn't see from one of the fans, and it somehow snuck through the IO shield. So I have to take this all out anyway. Damn, that sucks. Alright. That's probably why I had so much difficulty getting these on. It's because I had a cable blocking everything. Well, shit. I'm not used to fans being installed there. I'm over giant fucking fan cables being in the way. That sucks. There we go. All right. Set those to the side. You're coming up here where you can't get in the way. You annoying bugger. There you go. Ah, now look at that. All the standoffs fit nice and snug. That's probably because you don't have a cable in the way. How about that? Except for that one. That one's being a little difficult. The ones up top here are probably the most annoying. There we go. Haven't felt any resistance yet. Nope. As soon as I say that, I feel resistance, which means it's screwed in. Awesome. That's probably the most difficult one, and now I got that out of the way, so I don't have to deal with it. Alright. I was hyping up Windows Copilot to a grandpa when Mr. Techie comes by to say, it does come with it though. It does come with it, which is why I hate 11. That is by and large why I hate 11. It comes with Copilot, which is a huge hell no to me. There we go. There we go. That's another. There's another. Grab that one. Grab that one. Alright, those two are in. That standoff is fine. I don't have to worry about it. The last one, that one is right on a corner, and I'm going to keep pricking my fingers touching it. I swear I'm not diabetic, but I keep pricking my fingers on this damn pinout up here. Bruh, that took my screwdriver head off. That was kind of amusing. Alright, everything's hand tight. Store your music archive or something. So, T-Lord, I should mention, you can have a floppy drive in this thing, 2 optical drives, so you could have 2 Blu-ray drive burners running at Make MKV on this thing. By the way, do you want me to install Make MKV? Because that's what I use, and it is super, super duper reliable. And there's a open source like key activator for it, because it likes to expire every 2 weeks, and you can just renew it by re-downloading it, but there's a GitHub thing that auto-renews it, yada yada. It's way faster to just do that. That's what I do. I love the software. It's just a bitch to deal with because of that, because you have to reactivate it. But there's GitHub for a reason. What's that? So Make MKV reads the disc, reads a Blu-ray drive or reads a DVD, and it rips all the media files off of it and then puts them on a hard drive. It's really, really useful. I love it. I've used it for my entire movie collection and my family's movie collection. And I've probably accumulated about 1 terabyte of movies because of it. But it's basically the bread and butter of ripping your own discs. Okay. I think we're ready to install the power supply. Oh, first, hold on. Before I even do that, I'm going to throw in some SATA cables. Just to make your life easier. And that way you can install hard drives if you want to. I'm going to install 4 SATA cables for you. Because you have 6 ports. Your ports are located here, here, and then 4 here. Hold on, am I doing that wrong? I am. There we go. Alright, that's 2 of them right there. Those are fugly as hell, but oh well. You're not going to be looking inside this thing often. Hey, Must, for getting that stuff for a media server? Yeah, no. Make MKV is goated. I love it. And once you get that open source software that auto-activates it, it is like the best thing. Actually, I can just remove these and then just have them hook into the hard drives that way. That'll be a lot easier and it'll look a lot nicer. Alright, which way are these notched? They're notched like that. That's one. Come on, get the other one in, please. This one's like tucked in the corner. There we go. Alright, that's two. I'll bury these in here, because those will be for the hard drives. Then these will be for the optical drives. And that way the black ones are visible. And because they're black, they camouflage into the case, making it look nicer, therefore, better. Alright, so 3 for the... actually, no, I'm going to feed this one up here, too. So, this end of the SATA cable goes into the optical drive, and then there's also 3 more for... potentially 3 more hard drives. That also means I need to bring SATA power up to this as well. That's going to be fun. Fugly's fine. I want this thing to look like an office computer. Fair point. And it damn well does. Again, let me just show you the front of this thing. Look at that. It looks like an office computer. It looks like a shitty-ass 2000s laptop, 2000s Dell. It looks like a 2000s Dell. And I love it. Like, I genuinely want to build in a case like this. It is such a pretty case. And yes, I did just say shitty and pretty in the same paragraph. Fight me. Also, let me punch these out. I forget how you do it. But it's time to punch them out anyway. Or punch that one out. There's clips. I just gotta find the other clip. There we go. Alright, so you have to push down into it. And there's a plastic clip holding it in. But yeah, let's see. Does this work? I'd like to hope it does. Oh, is there another lock on this side? There is. Okay. That explains it. There we go. Hey, look at that. Now you got your own SD card reader. How about that? Pretty neat. Oh. There we go. And now it's flush. Nice. That's awesome. I know, right? Like, look at that. Now you got compact flash, which you'll probably never use. Memory stick. Does anybody remember memory stick? The Sony proprietary memory stick format? No one remembers that. Then there's micro SD and SD. But yeah, now you got your own little SD card slot thing. I had this sitting around. I'm like, holy shit, this has a 3.5 floppy bay. I might as well put this in it, because otherwise it's never gonna get used. So hey, you get one man's trash is another man's treasure. Now to put this one in. Actually, let me take off the back panel. This will make my life a lot easier. Oh, you can even put fans on this. You can put fans. This is an intake. I might actually do that. I may have some spare fans and just throw them on intake here, because that's filtered. This case is actually a lot more functional than it looks. It looks like a shitty office computer, and it ain't. Alright, where did I drop that? There it is. Hoo! There it is. Hoo! There it is. Alright. Damn it. Keep dropping that. Keep it unlocked. And now it's locked on both sides. Sweet. And that is a USB header. There we go. And these two will go up here to the optical. And this whole bag of miscellaneous garbage will be untied. Holy shit, that's a lot of cable. Alright. This all goes to the side. Is it power switch and reset switch? This thing doesn't have a power LED. Nope, it does. It does. Keep that to the side for now. This is my USB 2 header. That will go there. This is a USB 3 header. That is over here. Actually, can't I just thread this under here somewhere? No, it actually doesn't have the cable management for it. Damn, that sucks. Ooh. Don't bend these pins, Jacek. The most difficult part of a build is getting this USB 3 header installed. Every single freaking time. Now, why did they have to make the header at a 90-degree angle? Why did they have to do that? Do they literally just hate me? Do they hate me that much that they have to put it at a 90-degree angle? Because I don't think I'm going to be able to install it. Not at that angle. That's horrid. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna mash the pins in if I do that. That's stupid. Dude, why did they do that? I'm not taking a Dremel to this thing. That's stupid. Oh well. That's a design flaw on the board. They could have easily done better than that. Oh, there is cable management here. Actually, no, that's the power supply. There is no cable management. There is no meme. There is no cable management. Michelle? Michelle, there is no cable management. Oh, you totally could. Exactly. Corolla is a very beautiful design because of how practical it is. Actually, I could just thread all these cables back through here, couldn't I? Yeah, I could. I'm gonna do that. Make my life a little easier. Which also means I can thread this too, right? No, I don't think so, actually. Let's try, at least. Nope, I can. Hey, look at that. We're already cable managing, folks. Already cable managing. I haven't even installed the power supply yet. Somebody better stop me. And I'm already cable managing when I shouldn't be. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to install this USB 3 adapter, which means you won't be able to use the front ports, and that's solely because of this poorly designed grommet. Unless I can somehow fit it in. Which I don't think is possible. Yeah, no. I need like an extra ½ centimeter of clearance, and I don't have it. A Dremel or something would have to be used here, and I'm not doing that. That's stupid. Why did they have to make it a 90-degree angle? They could have just had it point straight up and it would have worked just fine. That sucks. Oh well. It's up to you. No cheese, Gromit. What about the cheese? Yeah, that's not gonna fit. Oh well. I'm sorry about this, T. I really wish I could get the USB 3 header in, but it just won't fit. There's not enough clearance for it. So I'll just push it in there as much as I can. And that means I'm gonna have to cap these off or tape over them or something. Just to let you know you can't use them. Now, there's an open C port right here that I can use. And I might just, you know, grab an adapter for that. In fact, I have one. Let me just go grab that. All right. What is it, like 2 ports? Yeah, it's 2 USB 3 ports on the front. I do have this. Oh, hold on. Why won't you sit up? Knocked my lighting down. There we go. Don't you dare move. Okay, good. There we go. And now I have a USB-C port, provided it works. I got this adapter forever ago and I never actually tested it. But hopefully it should work. I can just slap that there, or wherever I want it, like right there. Set to the side for now. Alright, so I'm going to need Molex, I'm going to need SATA. I'm going to just throw all the cables in, just for upgradability, and because you're definitely going to need the SATA later. But before I even bother with the power supply, I'm going to get the graphics card in here. So that this thing actually, runs games. Unlike the PlayStation, which can't run games, this can run games. And it can run them better than a PlayStation 5 could. It comes with a peel. This is an MSI Ventus 4060. It's about equivalent to a 3070 in performance. For those comparing it to last gen. The boomers are home from their alcohol at a local brewery. You'll love to hear it. The Gay Station 5, yeah. The Gay Station and the Sex Box. And the Switch is already a funny name because I'm not explaining. But yeah, look at that. It even comes with a peel. I get to do the honors. There's your 4060. It does have a back peel as well. Look at that. All right. This is only an 8-lane card. Yeah, this only runs on 8 lanes. I just realized that. To those that probably couldn't tell, it's not very easy to tell, but it only has traces up to these lanes, and it doesn't use these latter 8. Interesting. Alright, I need to punch these out. That's one. And that's 2. All right, it's in. Now to give it a couple screws. It only needs 2, actually. The Gaze Station 5 and the BDSM Switch. Yeah, that's the joke. You got it. You got it. You have the Gaze Station, the Sex Box, and the BDSM Switch. I don't think that screw is going to go any farther up or down. Alright. It wiggles a little bit here, but that's because there's no support here. But that's fine. But yeah, graphics card is now installed. I'm going to have to throw this somewhere when I'm done. When I'm done, I'll face myself to cross out what I've become, erase myself. I'm going to thread this a little bit, actually. I'm normal. I would pick the RTX over the socks. No, you're not. You have a foot fetish. Be quiet. Oh. All right, there we go. Perfect. And now, oh, do I not have enough room? Oh, I do have enough room. I have just enough length of this cable. There we go. Did I throw away the other two pieces of metal? Clearly I did not. There's a third one in there somewhere. And now I gotta find it. The EVGA Dream Ass. Oh my god. The brain rot consumes. Is that a 2.5-inch carriage? It is. Interesting. I don't know why you'd want to put airflow directly on a 2.5-inch solid-state drive, but I guess you can with this thing. That's interesting, nonetheless. There we go. Alright. Now I need to screw that in. What for servers? Alright, that's in. So then I got a USB-C in the back. That means you have two USB-C now. Provide that cable works. If it doesn't, oh well. I'll be upset, but I'll remove it. I'm still pissed that I can't access that. Like, I'm genuinely angry. That makes me so mad that I can't access it. Oh well. It is very much built for home server use. It can be. It has, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slots for hard drives, a floppy, and 2 optical. It is very much built for a home server. So I guess this is like a bonus as a result of that. It will be loud as hell when you have 8 hard drives scratching around in it, but yeah, I mean, that's what a server is, loud. The one I have upstairs is not loud, but that's because it has sound dampening inside it, which I paid extra for because it came with the case. Put the speaker there. What next? Right, I need to thread this through, don't I? I actually need to thread a bunch of these through. Which one's audio? That's audio that goes through here. These are all the power LED cables. Those go through here. And the USB as well. Dude, why are these all, like, different lengths? I don't get it. That's aggravating to me. Alright. And now... Sweet. Actually, wait, no, I can't thread it through there, because that's where the power supply is going to be. Damn it. Oh, hey, there's the last piece of metal. It's time to teach this hunk of metal some manners. Oh my god, I love that movie. I agree, Joel. You need to stop talking about gacha games. Just stop thinking about them. Lol. So, next, we got the big one. And by the big one, I mean the power supply, because we need to power this thing. And you sure as hell can't plug 120 volts AC into a computer and expect it to not catch on fire. That's why you need a power supply. So it's a 750 watt ATX spec. So theoretically, you could upgrade to a 50 series card and run just fine. You could probably put like a 5090 in this build and you'll be okay. I don't know why you would, but you can. Let me quickly throw a bunch of boxes to the side so I don't have them in my way. now for you. MSI shoutout. Oh boy. Psh. It's a sweepstakes for if you review your product and like it, you get a you could potentially win something. Oh, woohoo! My favorite. Paid reviews. Just stop drinking, Joel. I have 84 wind charges. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, CG, I beat Picayune last night. Cinematic masterpiece of a game. Holy, that's a lot of pinout. So you got your 24 pin here, you got your CPU, more CPU and PCIe, Molex and SATA, more CPU, and then you got your 12 volt, your 12 volt high power. Now I'm gonna plug in most of these cables, just for sanity and just so that it's easier, and that way I don't have to, you know, store extra cables in a bag. Now it's gonna be annoying because I'm gonna have to hide all these cables via cable management, but knowing that this computer will likely be a home server sometime in the near future, I kind of need all the SATA power I can get, so I'm going to just deal with it. He beat the Touhou game. Now play Touhou 6. Gift me it. I'm dead serious. Gift me it. And maybe I will. I've always wanted yet another reason to hate myself. Being sarcastic about that. I'm going to keep that off for now. I'm going to put some cables on it first. Again, so that way I know. Also, this has a peel on it. I'm going to remove the peel. The forbidden peel. Can I even get the peel off? There we go, I got the peel. The forbidden peel. There's a peel on there. Touhou 6 doesn't exist on Steam? I thought it did. I know Subterranean Animism is. I'm surprised that ain't. That's CPU. I don't want that. I want this, though. I do, in fact, want this. So I'm going to grab this and throw it over here. There we go. I'm making a bomb, guys. I'm making a bomb. Alright, so this is rated for 450 watts. So that's the highest power graphics card you can put on this thing. That's for future-proof sake. I'm just going to install that cable just for future-proof. Here's our SATA. Or one of them at least. I think it comes with two of them, and I'm going to need both of them. Oh, here's the other one. Alright, there's two. Now for PCIe. I grabbed one right away. How about that? I love when I grab the exact cable I need. Untie that, because I need it immediately. That being said, I will tie this down. Because you only need 8-pin. You don't need 2x8. You just need 8. And that way I can plug this right in. Perfect. Joel, more horror games. Toho Games 2. The boy's hungry. Oh my god. Wah! Oh my god, I love that meme. Actually, wait, no, I don't need this cable. This one's just a 2x8, or a singular 1x8. Yeah, it is a 1x8. What am I doing? I can yank this out. I don't need it. I got this one instead. Better cable management. Sweet. He doesn't need another EPS. That one I will file away. Because he doesn't need that. You don't need a second EPS. What I am going to do is wind this up. Hero of Ice Fairy. No, you should give that to T-Lord because he loves ice. You should definitely force him to play a bullet hell game where he has to play as Cerno, his favorite Toho character. You should totally do that. That would be hilarious. But don't take my word for it. And here's the Molex I mentioned. It even comes with a floppy connector. So you can literally run a floppy drive off this thing if you really wanted to. Again, don't know why you would, but you totally can. Now I did see a bunch of these Molex adapters for the fans. I think I'm going to disengage these and just run them off of 3-pin. I don't know why it's even suggesting me using these, because they're a waste of time. And they just run at full bore the whole time, which makes them loud. So I don't know, I find that a bit of a piss take. Alright, can I thread that in, or do I need to remove the graphics card again to reach that? Oh, I'm so close, I can feel it. I feel it in my bones, enough to make my system blow. Welcome to the new age. Oh, I'm so close, come on, get me some light. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the card out. Oh well. Not a huge deal. By the way, T-Lord, since you're probably watching this, I want to teach you how to remove a graphics card. So, back here, there's a plastic clip. Well, first things first, you have to remove these two screws. Unscrew them the whole way. This one's being a little bitch. Alright, there we go. That's one. And then here's the second one right here. You remove these two screws. And then there's a plastic flap on the back side of the graphics card where it's attached to the motherboard. It is located right here. You can't see it, but you can sure as hell push it with a screwdriver. So I'm going to do that. Alright. And then you just pull up and it's out. And now I can plug this fan in. There we go. I can cable manage that a little better. I can tie that somewhere around there. There we go. I really should be using the actual cable ties. Let me do that instead. This will look a lot nicer that way. Dude, they make these things impossible to tie together. Actually, I'm probably doing this wrong, aren't I? Yep, I am. There we go. Oh, I love the sound of zip ties. Now I just need to cut that. You got a little practice on your dead PC? Okay. I just figured I'd mention it to you, because I know you're going to need it in the future. Because should you upgrade your graphics card, which I have basically prepped you for, so whenever you want to upgrade it, you can. As long as they don't start making graphics cards that need 500 watts of power again, you'll be fine. If they start requiring 500 watts again, I'd be scared. I'm going to take that out just in case. I'll keep those cables as spares and just throw them in a bag. And I'll just put the bag inside when I ship it out. Alright. Now, time to put you back on. Two of you. one of you. Turn off the flashlight on this so I don't kill my phone. It rattles a tiny, but it should be fine. It may unscrew a tiny bit during shipping. I hope not, but it doesn't have the best, you know, it's not the most secure thing in the world. And I can't put a washer on it or anything to secure it. I guess I'll just have to leave it at that, but it should be fine. I'll just make sure to put like something there to keep it insulated. Okay, now the fun part. The power supply. There is intake down here, so I'm going to flip it upside down and mount it like this. And I'm glad I put all the more difficult cables in now rather than later, because they're going to be closer to the back where it's hard to access them. And that also means I have to get this cable out and ready so I can fish it under and then back into here. And that also means I have to detach this one too. Alright. ATX and EPS are ready. I have the PCIe already in. That's going to need cable tied, I'm sure of it. These probably won't need cable tied much because they just go this and then up here. So that will already be cable managed quite well, actually. And now for the hard part, actually screwing it in. Now it came with 4 screws. Where are those 4 screws? I had them here a minute ago. I know that much. That's the AC cable. Where did I put them? I didn't throw them in here, did I? No, they're not in there. I'm pretty sure there's extras in here anyway. Yeah, there's one there, another, and another. There's 4. That's all I need. Ooh. There we go. And now for you. This is the fun part where I get to hold this vertically and two-hand it. Since we're having 3 hands would be nice. Unfortunately, we're born with 2. Alright. Oh, it even comes with punch outs for water cooling. Dude, this thing is equipped for everything. This is a really good case. I like it. You could water cool this thing if you wanted to. That's what these 2 little holes are for. It's for tubes. You can put tubes through it. Now, why aren't you screwing in? I guess it just bottoms out. That one doesn't bottom out. That one's hand tight. Those 2 are not. I wonder why that is. That one doesn't even go in. Dude, where the hell did the actual screws for it go? And why does this thing keep tipping over? That's aggravating me. That's aggravating something mean out of me. Your dip? What do you mean? Yeah, it's not coming out. Can turn that on now. Or switch it on. Dude, where do those... I genuinely cannot find where those screws went. And I'm gonna go ballistic. Where did they go? And why won't you screw in? You're supposed to. I don't know why you aren't. Yeah, it won't even bother screwing in. Nice. It's just completely rolled. Yeah, it doesn't screw to anything. It's like that's not even threaded. Yeah, it's not even threaded. What the hell, guys? I mean, it's not gonna budge. But I'm still angered that there's a missing screw there. Oh well. This angers me. Something is poorly designed here, and I don't know what. But something is, and it's aggravating me. Oh, shut up, Alex. You're not wrong. But I'm getting angry. Those are fancy screw covers. Oh, this is some pretty cool bananas. That's another Molex adapter that I don't want to deal with. Alright, I need light again. Perfect. I need to cable tie that a tiny bit. Not a whole lot, just a little. And I need to throw Molex through there. Or not Molex, ATX. Alright, another zip tie. There we go. These are easily cuttable with just an X-Acto knife. You should just Hulk smash the computer like most streamers do. I'm not XQC. I have an IQ of triple digits. XQC probably has an IQ of room temperature, probably 70 at best. We are not the same. Actually, I can't thread that through there. It doesn't have enough length to it. That's what she said. It's not long enough. Haha. That's what she said. I'm so funny. Unchain that. Unchain this as well. Bro, I was just playing Trivia Mario Party 2. Got the first 6 questions correct, missed the 7th. Died in your first square. That's hilarious, Peyton. You just got Trivia Murder Partied. Share this with your friends to absolutely Trivia Murder Party them. Alright, that's the SATA cables. Yank those to the side. This is the fun cable. The funny fun cable that I hate. Because it's not fun. I claim it's fun. It's not. It's arguably the most difficult one. And yet I'm going to somehow get it in on the first try. Just make sure I'm doing it right. Yes, I am. Wow, I got in. That's amazing. I've never had such an easy CPU cable before. But lo and behold. That's crazy. Right. Cable manage a little bit. There we go. If your spouse wanted a GTX graphics card instead of a wedding ring, yeah, of course. I would say that's a damn fine marriage. Alex, you're talking to the guy who has two friends that are gay, and their marriage rings are fucking $4 prop rings from Lord of the Rings. You kind of just like, if it's a nerdy thing, you kind of just respect it. How's it going, Ian? Alright, I'm gonna have to remember this pinout again. So let me just look it up, because I don't remember it. Oh. Well, lo and behold, I was sitting on the power supply screws the whole time. How about that? I should probably use those. I'm so funny. Jesus Christ. That's class. I know, right? Literally their marriage rings are like two $4 Lord of the Rings rings. And I love them. They're great people. I just wish they were closer. I wish a bunch of my friends were like not 300 miles away. Because then I could actually hang out with them, you know? You're really getting good at building bullshit? When I set up Noida together and when I'm not busy. That's your answer. I hate to have such a vague answer, but that's my answer. You should move to Wisconsin then? No, I'm planning to move to Ohio or Pennsylvania. Those are like my two states that I plan to move to. Alright, shit, what was I looking up? Do Pennsylvania. Alright, JFP1. JFP1 pinout. Because I always forget the pinout of JFP1. Right. Okay. So, let me get a light on this. That's power on the left. Reset switches on these two. Actually, hold on. Let me just grab them all by the thing, and I'm gonna thread them underneath. Make my life a little easier. This is not going to be pretty. The cable management on this is going to look dog shit, and I think I'm just going to keep it dog shit. Because it doesn't really matter in the first place. Alright, that's reset. Hard drive LED is to the left of it. Which isn't a real requirement, but it's still nice to have. And power LED is north of that. And then power switch is to the right of that. What the hell? Hold on. Aha. I need to flip these around. Dude, these things are so hard to keep together. Alright, and now for the power switch. Alright, now I just gotta not touch those. Lovely. Let me zip tie them. Because if I don't, I'm gonna go ballistic. Dude, I hate the front panel pinout. It's so annoying. To get to the Ohio border, I probably want to go, unironically, to the northern half of Ohio if I do move there. Preferably closer to, like, Youngstown, mainly because I have family in Pittsburgh and I do want to keep in touch with them. But I may just full send it and go to like Sandusky or something. But I'm going to try to avoid Toledo, even though I got friends in Toledo that I love dearly. It's just Toledo's a fucking ghetto and it's arguably as bad as Baltimore. And you know me, I love to hate Baltimore. There we go. Cut that off. I think this is ready to go. I think it's ready to post. I just have to make sure everything is inserted correctly. That fan's connected right there. That fan's connected. This fan's connected. CPU power is connected. However, it might be connected to the wrong one. I don't think it'll matter. I think it's redundant. But who knows? I could be wrong. That might be why I fail to post. If it fails to post, I'll know why. But, at least I know why it will fail to post this time. Oh shit, did I bend that? I did, holy hell. I banged that up against something. Alright, these need to go in there as well. And those will go with all the hard drives. But yeah, see? The SATA power cables are going to be all along here. You just pull one up and then hook it up to the power of the optical drive and you should be set. You obviously need to attach one of these cables as well to it, but that'll be a you problem, not a me problem. Let me see, is the other one out there? It is. Okay, there's two of them. Good. But yeah, there's 2 SATA cables, so you could have 2 optical drives and 2 mechanical drives, or you could have 3 mechanicals if you want. But yeah, you could load this thing up with like 60 terabytes if you wanted to. Just total overkill, but I mean, coming from me, it's not really overkill. But yeah, I think this is ready to turn on in post. You have this extra cable here, which probably won't be used, but I just have it there just in case. Oh my god, I need to clean my floor after this. It is going to be nutty. Absolutely nutty. If you find a wand that says cast nuke orbit, do not put it in your transport wand. That fires every frame. No computer is built for that shit. Oh, don't worry. Ian, when I finished my God run, I got one of the special endings. And turned the whole world into something. So I just decided to use all my nuke spells together on one wand and just absolutely fuck up the game. And it was fun dicking around for half an hour, lagging my computer to 1 frame a second. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Highly recommend you watch that video if you haven't. But I got orbiting nukes. I got nuke. And then I got always cast something on top of that. Yeah, it was always cast nuke with orbiting nukes, and I think it was quad spell. So it just like spat out like 16 nukes, and also quantum as well. So you had like 100 different nukes from one wand. It was the wand of destruction, which always cast a nuke. Actually, I'm gonna turn the light back on. Make sure I got everything. I don't like how loose these are. Oh well. I'll find out if I fuck something up in a second here. Actually, give me 1 sec. I have the actual screws for the power supply. Let me put those in. And let me get one of these HDMI ports uncovered. By the way, T, this thing has 3 display ports and 1 HDMI. I'm going to cover these ports up because you won't be using them. But these are the ports you can use on the graphics card. Don't bother with these 2. I'll put a cap on them. That way you can't use them. But those go to the integrated graphics, which you should not be using for any reason. Unless your graphics card dies, in which case you will use it, but highly unlikely. Now, why do these screws work so well, but these don't? What the hell? Maybe they have different threading? That'd be my only guess. That would be literally my only guess. Oh, I didn't get the sun, Ian. I tried to get the sun, and I ended up fucking it up with nukes. I tried getting the sun seed from the boss, and I ended up killing the boss. But because I used nukes, I evaporated the sun seed. I was so mad at myself. So I ended up not even getting to the moon anyway. So there's a lot of stuff I didn't do that I wish I did. But I was either too stupid or too foolish to find it. I know how to make the sun. It's just I've never done it. Alright, those 2 are in there firm. You found a jar of urine on stream today? That's hilarious. And you know if you get affected by it, it's a TF2 reference. The status effect whenever you're covered in it is Gerarded. Gerarded! Which, if you play any sort of TF2 or know anything about TF2, it's a reference to it. But it's funny how there's a TF2 reference in Noida. I always find that amusing. Yep. If I'm knocking on it, that means it's in. Yeah, those 4 screws were the right ones. And I can tell. It's a night and day difference. Now, where's the power supply box? Over here. There we go. I wanted to ask something of you for a long time. When are you planning on doing Newer? So Newer has two bumps in the road for it. I don't know if you can net play. Not WIMFI. What are those called? I don't know if you can play those ROM hacks on NetPlay. If you can, awesome. I'll still have to find that out. But I also need to get 4 people to play those kinds of games, Vic. Because, as you may know, scheduling for any sort of multiplayer game in my community is a bitch. So if you can somehow get 3 other people to join me for NSMB, please let me know. And that goes for anybody watching. Please let me know if you are interested. Alright, I'm going to remove these covers just because they're not needed anymore. I just dropped one. I'll find it on my floor. Oh, I found it. I was about to say, I'll find it on my floor eventually. Alright, so this comes with, holy shit, 7 USB ports, 2 USB-C, and 2 USB 2 in the front, so you could put like a keyboard and mouse on it. Alright, and you got 2.5 gig LAN. So that'll be useful if you want to upgrade your Wi-Fi or something, upgrade your internet. I'm not going to attach the antenna yet. I'll just tape them to the back when I ship it out, or put them inside and tape it somewhere. I think it's ready to post. Now, I know it's bad GBs to screw on the back panel and screw on the front panel, but I'm going to do it anyway. Or at least screw on the back panel, just so that I know my cable management is satisfactory. It doesn't have to be amazing, it just has to be satisfactory. I'm laying you down flat. Two of these. Budgies yesterday. And they've been vocal today. I love them. I think my sister has 2 of them. And they are they're pretty cool. They don't like me for some reason. Like, anytime I'm near them, they stay quiet. But they love my little sister. Like, I'm talking little sister. I have a half-sister that I absolutely love her dearly. Even though she wants me to watch the Minecraft movie with her, I still love her. Alright. Let me get the monitor over here. So let me do this. If we get a post, I'm going to end stream and start imaging it. If we don't, then we're going to be here for a couple minutes as I find out how to get it to work. Alright. Power's in. Let's try. Let's give it a shot. 3, 2, 1. Oh, power switch isn't on. 3, 2, 1. There we go. It's quiet. It might need a memory train. It is training 64 gigabytes of RAM, and that usually takes a while in the first boot, so I'm going to give it a minute. But what you see is what I see. Minecraft Grimace toy? That's a thing? Oh, also, T-Lord, if you're in chat, please let me know. Would you like me to put this sticker? Would you like me to put the Ryzen sticker on your case? New CPU installed. We got a post. You can hear the fans going. I'd argue it's a tiny bit louder than my computer. Ever so slightly. There we go. Yeah, we got a post. Let's go. Let's go. Fuck yeah. We got a post. All right. Well, pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin my imaging and all the other shit that I'm going to be doing for the next, 3 hours. Woo! All right. And that was the first time, too. That was first try. Let's go. McDonald's has adult toys for Minecraft fans? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Alright, so I'm going to get back to work, Squidward. On the computer. I'm going to get back to work on that. Image it. Get Windows 11 running on it. As well as re-image my computer. My laptop. But yeah, this will be a very long night for me. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Hold on, I'm going to quickly change the camera back over. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys later. I don't know if I'll be doing a stream tomorrow. I will probably not be home until late. But if I do, I'll let you guys know. And yeah, stay savage, y'all. T, if you are watching, I would like to ask a few questions in DMs about the computer. I'll DM you those later. But for now, it's time for me to image this computer and get it on the road. I'll see you all later. Stay savage, y'all. Bye.